Hello everyone, I'm going to be helping you learn how I created this painting. So I wanted to do this video. This is my first video, so excuse any of my mistakes. Let's get started. The supplies you'll need is a canvas. I did it on a 16 by 20. You can use any size you want. And the paints I used are titanium white, crimson, phthalo blue, and I used Mars black. The brushes I use are Simply Simmons,
Any firm,
number
flat,
10, 1
3/4 to
inch,
1 inch paintbrush
approximately 1
will
inch,
work for this
and a number
painting.
4 Simply Simmons fan brush. And of course you'll need water for cleaning your brush and a palette for mixing your paints or pouring your paints onto. Let's get started. The first paint I'm going to start with is your crimson. Oops, don't splatter it onto your canvas like I just did. You want to take your number 10 and wet it and wipe it off. Make sure it's pliable. This is a stiffer brush. I'm just going to go in here and try and smooth out those swatches I just made. I'm going to go into my red and I'm going to put a red stripe at the top. And it's up to you if you want to color your edges. You get better coverage if you use an X. My original painting, I used an ochre underpainting to give it a more antique-ish look underneath. And I also misted my canvas, so we may get a different look on this one. I want to do this quite fast because I want to be blending my colors when I put my whites on. Sorry, that was my phone. I'm doing this one pretty dry. I don't know why, because the last one I did was a lot more wet. Okay, I'm just going to take the extra paint off my brush. I'm not going to clean it. And I'm going to get some white. I know it seems strange that I'm painting straight titanium white on a white background, but hopefully I can show you that it turns mostly pink. I am using a lot of white. Now I'll come back later and put a little bit more white on when the red has calmed down and dried a little. But we're going to go right into our blue, phthalo blue. I did not wash my brush. I'm just wiping it off. I'm picking up the phthalo blue and I'm going to put this right on the edge and hopefully blend this some. As you can see, the phthalo blue is much stronger than your whites or reds. I'm doing an X pattern when I use the brush. It helps to get more coverage and gets down into the greens of the canvas. The canvas I'm using is already pre-primed. You can get an economy canvas from your local craft store, or you can get it from ourartsupplies.com. This is a website my husband and I have just started and would greatly appreciate your patronage. As you can see, my colors are much brighter since I did not use the ochre background. It's less antique-ish looking. Now, for my next stripe, it's a white one that goes across. I did rinse my brush. I actually, when I did my first painting, I painted it when I did the first row, the first go-round. It's not going to blend as well as I want it to, but it looks pretty good. I want this stripe to go the whole way across. And as you can see, I still have white in and blue in my brush, so I'm going to put my next red stripe, which turns out to be purple because I have blue in my brush. This also gives me the night horizon in the sky. I'm just picking out more red. And I'll blend them in. And we don't want it to be an exact horizon here because our background is going to be like a silhouette. I'm going to add a little blue to this side, give it more purple look. But this is your painting. And if you prefer to have the red and white the whole way down, then by all means bring the red and white the whole way down. We're going to go into our silhouette. Again, I'm not going to wash my brush. I'm just going to bring my black in the bottom for my silhouette. Again, I'm still using the X pattern. And I'm going to form a background that looks like rocks and such. I may make it dip, and I may make it go up. As you can see, I'm swirling my brush to give it the more rounder look at the edges rather than brushstroke edges. Again, this is all in taste. It's what I want to achieve. You can achieve your look the way you have taught yourself with your brush. I have done this same painting, this whole painting so far with one brush so far, Simply Simmons number 10. It's a stiffer brush. And I find that if you do not dawdle and you just paint and let your feelings come out on the canvas, you get a much nicer look. Alright, the next step is going to require the painting to be dry. So I'm going to pause here and let this dry some. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. I forgot to tell you one of the other brushes I'll be using. We also sell this on our site. It is the Micro Mini brush set. There's normally 12, so you're going to As you can see, I've used a lot of mine there with my other brushes. But what I'm going to be using out of this set is the Micro Mini 20-aught. It's a detail brush, and I'll be using this to do the birds in the sky on the painting. So I wanted to also add that. I'm painting about 15 minutes. It's not drying to white. As you can see, I brush stroked it with my fingers. So I can do this tree here, but I feel like I'm going to have to wait for that side maybe a little bit longer. Do I want to fix it? Yeah, I'll go in and do a little patch job. See if I can blend these white out here. I think what I'll do is get some more red and carry that out a little. As you can see, it's just, don't fret over things you do. I do things like this all the time. I have white and red fingers. I'm going to get a little bit more white on the palette and maybe take a few of those strokes out up in here. You can also, yeah, I'll leave the red in. Did say I wanted a little bit more white in here anyway, so here we go. Here's my white going in to make it a little bit. I'm trying to fill in these little holes that pop up during drying. From your cheaper canvases, they have more grain, so the paint doesn't always get down into the holes. So you may have to go over with some paint. And as you can see, I just added a little bit more white to bring that out. Get rid of this clump, and that should dry a little faster. I'm going to start with this tree over here. I don't like that. Here I go caring, and what am I doing? I'm messing up the painting. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to wash your brushes out. Please do not leave them lay with the paint in them. That's a good way. It doesn't matter if it's a $1 brush or a $50 brush. Wash them. But the way you wash them is to put your paint in your jar, whatever you use, and paint the bottom of your jar, and then wipe up the sides. And then I usually use a cloth to just take the extra water off. And if it needs fixing, I use my fingers to fix it. It's that simple to wash a brush. Now, when I'm painting, I usually have a jar where I clean the paint off, and then I have a second jar for rinsing my brush. That way I don't have to get off my lazy butt and get more water in the middle of my painting. Now we're going to, use our number 4 fan brush from Simply Simmons. I'm going to get some water on that and get it wet. And we're going to use white. I said white. Gosh, I need to wake up here this morning. We're going to use black. I'm going to get a nice amount. We're going to put a line, and we're going to use the corner. This, if you're wondering how to do this, watch some of your Bob Ross. He is a fantastic teacher. I cannot say enough. If you want your limbs to go down, hold your brush up. If you want your limbs to go up, hold your brush down. You want to go in a Z pattern. I usually just put it in, and then I come back and add what I feel like I want to add to this tree. Which, again, you've got to stop fretting over the small things and let whatever flows out of your brush come out. Done. these next two trees, I want to try and keep them a little thinner. Start this one a little higher. And as you can see, the more I push, the more brush tips fly down and give you a different effect. It also, my paint isn't as watery as this first tree. So again, learn how to use your brushes and how they work for you. So as you can see, there's two different effects you can get from the same brush. More of a straight U, or as you can see, my brush is flaring out from this technique. I'm going to use this somewhat same here. Put this one a little closer. You can also, there's just about any brush will do this technique I've seen, but I prefer the fan brush. That one looks like a swamp tree. Looks like it's dying. So I'll do a little touch up here. I'm going to end up with a big glob on this one. Where your two trees come together, there should be less light in there. But like I told you, do a little less caring and just go with what your brush gives you, and that's what I got. My apologies that it looks like that, but there we go. I'm going to pause here and pick up the brushes I dropped. Thanks. Be right back. Now while I was gone, I did clean out my fan brush. Picked up my other brush, which is my detail brush, and I made the tip wet and wiped it off. I'm going to be picking up some titanium white for my birds in the sky. What I'm going to do is start at what we would call the body and do a swoosh. I don't know if you can see that, but just know this, you don't have to get 50 birds on here, and they can be all different sizes. Picture this flag as starting here out about 12 inches and going, this is just taking a picture of the corner of your flag right here. There's more stripes that go this way and this way. Try not to touch my tree because your birds can have long wings and they can have short wings. If you choose to put stars in the sky, that would even be nice too. Stars are in a night sky. I just for some reason like the birds. This painting isn't about copying, it's about expressing yourself in a moment. So just give it a try and just express yourself. If you try this painting and you wouldn't mind taking a picture and posting it in the notes below, I'd love to see your painting. Or you could send it to ourartsupplies@gmail.com, and I would be able to see your painting and just enjoy the fact that you wanted to try this. I'd love to see your artwork. Another thing you could have done, which you could have put some birds in the background first before you put your tree in. This way your birds are showing through. Put a tiny one in here. And it's more realistic. They're part of the background then. Most of my birds look almost identical to each other. So I don't have as many birds on this painting, but I did want to show you how to do this painting, how I did this painting. Again, express yourself and have fun with it. Don't forget to post or send me a picture of your paintings. I'd love to see them. And enjoy, just enjoy painting. Any of the supplies you've seen me use here, you can pick them up at ourartsupplies.com. Thank you and have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy your painting.